It was a Jayson Tatum takeover as he goes for 50 to beat the Wizards and help the Celtics claim the number 7 spot in the 2021 Eastern Conference playoffs. 118-100 was the final, and that takes us to Playoff Central Live here on NBA TV. There you see the Celtics have secured their spot. They're moving on, and they'll take on the Brooklyn Nets in a first-round series that'll start over the weekend. Washington plays on. They'll take on Indiana on Thursday night on their home floor in D.C. Welcome in, everyone. Good to have you with us. The Hall of Famer Isiah Thomas is along, as is 3D Dennis Scott. I'm Matt Weiner. Good to have you there as well. Pretty easy to do my job right now because really I just have to say Jayson Tatum.
Jayson Tatum, we talked about in the pregame show, he had to, come out for 40 or 50. I was teasing saying 60, but he gave me 50, Zeke. I'll take it. But like he said in the interview, he had to be the best player on the floor to set the tone. We talked about Evan Fournier. He made his first three. He made himself feel good. But it was all about Jayson Tatum being in attack mode and putting that pressure on the Wizards tonight.
Yeah, Zeke, this was interesting because really Boston didn't play a great offensive game. They shot under 40%. Even with Kemba Walker going for 29, they needed most of that 50 for Jayson Tatum, which might give you pause moving forward, but worked tonight.
Yeah, yes, they did. And Matt, he knew exactly what he had to do. And, 3D earlier said, he's got to go and get 60. Well, he went and got 50. And, getting 50 points in an NBA playoff game, that's not easy to do. I thought the defense was designed to really, put a lot of pressure on Tatum. But to his credit, what he was able to do was find the open spots, stay aggressive, attack the basket, got to the foul line 17 times, made 17 of the 17 free throws that he took. He just played a magnificent game all around from an offensive standpoint, and they needed every bit of it. I thought with 8 minutes to go in the game, when Washington had cut it to 8, with Westbrook on the line being 4 for 14, I thought Westbrook would start to get it going. But Tatum was just too much, and he sustained his effort and his scoring ability all the way throughout the game.
32 of that 50 after halftime. 23 of it came in the third quarter when he really heated up.
Yeah, he heated up, Matt, and he gave, he took whatever the defense gave him. At first you thought he was going to be a jump shooter. He put the ball on the floor. He would give the ball up and get it back. So he really let you know his offensive game was really playing well tonight. So we look at this video. Just watch his patience. We know he's good off the dribble, but not forcing it. Wait, you back up. That's just too much space. We know he can knock down a stand shield jump shot. Here in the little half-court set, great screen by Tristan Thompson. Then you go ahead and attack Robin Lopez and get to the basket. Now he's in his groove. You play some good half-court defense. Now, look at the miscommunication. I think there's a mouse in the house, Matt and Zeke. Come on, I'm shooting over a chair. Ish, I love you, little fella, but no, he's just too tall. You get the bounce and the roll. Look at the shake. That's the Kobe Bryant right there, Matt. Little Kobe is. But right here, now check this out, Matt. Patience. I see I got bird times on me. No, wait. Yes, most guys go too fast, Matt and Zeke, you know this. I'm under control now. I'm feeling good about myself. That's what we love so much about Jayson Tatum as we look at the shot chart.
It's the shot chart presented by Mountain Dew, to be specific, and the second half shot chart, take it a step further than that. It was 9 of 17 and 3 of 6 from three-point range when he scored 32 of those 50. On his way to recording the first ever 50-point game in a play-in. You can say that a lot tonight.
Yeah, I keep saying playoff. I mean play-in, yes. Thank you, Matt, for correcting me.
We can say it again tomorrow night, too. This is something no doubt will happen that'll be a first in a play-in situation. Defensively for Washington, Zeke, they've been a much better defensive team during this 15-5 stretch at the end of the regular season. Were you surprised that Scott Brooks didn't call for more double teams on Jayson Tatum?
Yeah, I was, particularly since Tatum was so hot. And not only was he so hot, but he was finding the mismatch every time he wanted to with different screening roles. And then he would take smaller players into the post. And whenever they came to double team him, he would shoot over the double team because they were double teaming with smaller players. So definitely, with Tatum being as hot as he was, you could have asked Brooks if he would, double team, take the ball out of his hands. But then again, they had a scheme. They wanted to stick to their scheme. Didn't pay off. And Tatum went for 50 tonight.
You know, he missed 18 shots. He was efficient. 50 on 32 shots is pretty good. He missed 18 shots, but I would say very few of those were because of Wizards defenders in front of him.
Just missed the shots, man.
Yeah.
One of those type of games where you got good shots, you missed them, and the ones that you missed, you didn't continue to take those same shots. You started to attack to get to the free throw line.
All right, more on Jayson Tatum's big night and Boston's win to secure their spot as the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs. As Playoff Central Live continues, we'll hear from the stars of 4-38 Indiana Pacers to know that they would win this game definitively. All right, Zeke, moving forward here, now the Pacers have to go on the road and face either the Wizards or the Celtics for that 8th and final spot. How much of what you saw tonight can they replicate in 2 nights?
Well, this definitely, is a game that they can build on and feel confident about, and playing their style of play, playing with their pace. Washington will always be difficult because when you're trying to play fast against Westbrook, that's not always a good thing because he gets to play fast too. However, against Boston, it definitely can lead them to some success in terms of their style of play and building off tonight. And Miles, we definitely picked against you tonight because we didn't think that. Without yourself and LeVert, we thought Charlotte would play better. But, kudos to you and the Pacers for stepping up and playing undermanned and following the coach's game plan and having a great win because tonight was impressive.
Yeah, man, as we look at the stat sheet, we forget, T.J. McConnell had a solid year defensively. I think one game he had 10 steals in the game.
Yeah, triple-double steals.
So we forget, Malcolm Brogdon, to your point, he might not have guarded numbers, but his presence on the floor made the Hornets think about him, being able to initiate the offense. So the little things showed up for the Pacers tonight, and then Dougie McBuckets got off making 4 threes during that first quarter, kind of set the tone, and kind of rode that way for the rest of the ballgame.
That second playmaker for Indiana was huge. And hopefully for their sake, Brogdon comes out no worse for wear in terms of the health in his hamstring. They'll do it again somewhere on Thursday night. We'll do more post-game coverage coming up after the Wizards and Celtics wrap up their business from Boston. That'll wrap it up for us for Playoff Central. For the moment, we'll see you after the Wizards and the Celtics. Just a few minutes time on TNT. Welcome in. It's Playoff Central Live. Matt Weiner, 3D, Dennis Scott here in our World NBA TV headquarters in Atlanta. The Hall of Famer Isiah Thomas in Parts Unknown on a screen with us. Sooner or later, they tell us we're all going to be in the same room again.
That's what I heard.
That's what I hear. That is
I don't believe it, Matt, until I see it. I got to see it.
I think it's going to happen.
It's looking like next week. It's looking like next week.
See?
What?
See?
They're not messing with me? I thought they were messing with me.
Zeke has intel that we don't have. Because you and I live here.
Right.
And
see, he's the Hall of
Fame.
He's the Hall of Fame. We get inside scoop the Hall of Fame.
They know all this stuff before we know all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome in, everyone. It's Playoff Central Live, and this was not close. The Pacers jumped all over the Hornets early on. It's not only a great offensive performance, shooting 55%. They knocked down 16 of 35 from 3, racked up 35 assists along the way, but a lot of the credit/blame also has to go to the Hornets defense, which Zeke just wasn't there from the get-go in terms of focus and effort tonight. What do you make of what we just saw?
Matt, we've heard coaches say this throughout, our playing career, 3D, right? You didn't come to play. And I look at the Hornets tonight, and they just didn't come to play. They didn't show up. And not only did they not show up, but the Pacers were very good. The Pacers came to play. They were sharp. They executed. They played with enthusiasm. They played with energy, which turned into baskets. When you look at the Hornets, it was a game where and Greg Anthony, I guess, said it best. He said, it was almost like